Did you end up pulling some records to show us or what?
I did. I pulled some records. I have a stack. I know we're probably running long, so I'm not gonna show them all. But I did.
I can always split it into two, part 1 and 2. People.
Oh, okay. There you go. So, I mean, I'm sure you've been hearing me complain about how expensive jazz and funk is right now. So I'm not moving away from it. If they come to me, if certain jazz records pop up for the right price, I'll buy them. But I'm no longer kind of really on eBay trying to seek them out because, they're just going crazy now.
Crazy. And
they're not in good condition. They're just not. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, there's like, slight warp, scratch through track 1 that clicks for 30 seconds, $700. I'm like, no. That's not how it's supposed to work. I don't know what's going on today with these new cats, man, but whatever.
They didn't have someone school them like you with that $2,000 record.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But people are willing to pay it now, so it is what it is. But I say that because I've been trying, I'm all over the place right now. And I've been trying to find out where I want to go right now with collecting. And I kind of want to get into like getting Japanese jazz, like rare Japanese jazz, not just anything, but the rarer kind. Because they're really technically astute when it comes to playing music. And sometimes it sounds rehearsed, sometimes it doesn't sound natural. But I think when you find that rare Japanese jazz that's kind of like organic, it's just as good, if not better, than anything else out there. And I kind of want to move that way, but at the same time, I wanted to get into fusion. And then I also want to kind of get into like world music. And so that's where I kind of been on like lately. Now I'm going to take these out of the sleeves. Or tell me, is that a crazy glare? That's a crazy glare? I'll take it out of the sleeve. I've been on this guy a lot lately.
Dave Belson showed me that record bug.
Say that again?
Dave Belson, record bug. He's shared that record with me before.
He shared this one?
Yeah, he showed me.
Oh man, this is my guy, man. I just actually gifted Philip Tebing to this actual record. I had multiple copies to Chris. Have you listened to any of this?
No, I've never heard it. I just recognized that other cover.
It's very, very, very unique, man. He's a folk guitar player, African folk guitar player. But what makes him special, or what I like about him, is that he vocalizes a lot while he's playing, and it's not just like singing, but he's just almost like a scat, or he's going along, he's kind of like syncopating with his guitar, and he's saying, he's just like, it's almost like, sounds like a Tasmanian devil at times, like really, like he's really into what he's playing, but it's not a novelty or like he's doing it on purpose. To me, it sounds like a really organic, it sounds like an artist organically getting carried away with what he's doing. And so that energy kind of comes out through the record, and it makes for really, really, this is like my favorite of his. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Spelled U-N-H. I think it's Una or I don't know how to say it. If it's a sound, it's a word.
Is that the same artist as the other record or no?
Yes, yeah. That's the same one. This is Philip Tebing. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah,
and he used this Malumbo. That's actually his group of percussion artists that play behind him. But this stuff, these are really, really, really. These are my favorite 2 records. Now he has plenty of them. I mean, you could probably get your hands on like 10 different releases between his singles and his band. But these are my favorite that I've discovered so far. And this record right here came out in 1989, and it's not expensive at all. It's probably like $20-30 maybe.
What are those circular designs part of the cover?
Yeah, that's part of the cover. Yeah,
that's so weird because I swear, do I have it here? It looks so much like these radio stampers from, like, this is a radio station.
Oh wow, that's a dope record, by the way. I love that damn
Yeah, thanks to you. But it just when I
record.
saw that design, I was like, it's identical to this radio.
That's exactly. I mean, it's exactly it, almost to scale, right?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's what I'm listening to now, kind of in my world music realm. And then I also want to try to get into prog. I've been wanting to get into prog for a while because people throw it around so much. And it took me a while to really kind of figure out what the hell is prog.
Yeah.
It just seems like a wide range of stuff. I've seen people show prog albums, some of them that I heard. I'm like, okay, so that's prog. Oh, wait a minute, that's prog too. So I really still are kind of like a novice. I'm not astute in that genre at all, but I do know by definition that it's kind of like rock that's based in jazz, right?
I'm not sure. It's like to me too. I'm like I don't really know. I have an idea obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm correct, then I like the jazzier prog albums. And so this is like my favorite. And I hope this is prog because people are going to be laughing at me. Is this Banger Flying Circus?
Oh, never heard of it.
This one right here. This is probably one of my top 10 favorite albums in my entire collection.
Okay.
You should hear this. On this album, there's a song called Norwegian Wood, which from what I understand is almost like a standard in prog kind of jazz. A lot of people play their version of it. And it's crazy, man. But this whole album from front to back is like a jazz kind of rock prog album. And for anybody watching, this is like where I want to be. If this is prog, this is where I want to be. I want to be right here.
That's your lane.
Yeah, that's my lane. And then of course, naturally, I follow those guys. And then there were some band members. I think 2 band members split and started this group called Medora. They have 2 albums, and well, it's not really much to see in the gatefold, but these are with the band members from Banger Flyer Circus, and this is the same. It's in the same vein. To kind of give you an idea of how they're rocking out, man. It's a rhythm guitar that they're using. So it's rock, but they're using a rhythm guitar, like a jazz rhythm guitar. The lead singer, again, is doing that kind of scat with the same cadence as he's playing the guitar. And if anybody knows me, I'm a sucker for a musician vocalizing while he's playing an instrument.
Wordless vocals type of thing?
They do have lyrics, but I'm more so like parts of the songs where they kind of go into soloing, yeah. So those are that's kind of where I'm at with like world music. That's how I'm entering those genres. I'm entering through those doors, the Philip Tabane, and then Banger Flying Circus and Medora, things of that nature. That's the door that I'm coming in when it comes to those 2 genres. And then I think this is, I don't know if people call this prog. I call this jazz, but this was gifted to me. Are you familiar with Chris Basket?
Yeah.
In the VC?
Of course.
He gave me this.
I recognize that cover probably from Chris, but I don't know the music at all.
Yeah, Dr. Aftershave and the Mixed Pickles. This is Mrs. Beastly. So I think people consider it kind of rock. But this is just straight rocking out hardcore jazz, man. Like and it's funky as hell too. So I just said, let me put this. So this actually is not part of the album. This is a personal note that Chris wrote me. But I just
I remember you showing it. That's why, because I just hearing you say Ms. Beastly, I remember it like triggered. I remember you showing that record, I guess, when Chris gave it to you, and the cover is so recognizable. It's so crazy.
And please look into this album. I mean, knowing your taste, you would appreciate that. I would love to have like their original first record, but it's honestly like $3,000 all day. Like no joke. Yeah, it's crazy. And let me see. Oh, I haven't shared this. You know, I did that video about my most spun jazz records.
Yeah.
And I still have to do like a funk and soul one. But I will show these two ahead of that video. This is, to me, the meters in their prime.
I don't have that one. I remember you showing it, but I've never found a copy.
Cabbage Alley, man. Cabbage Alley. Yeah, I remember it was in my early digging days when I really didn't know much, and I was digging, and there was another guy digging there with me, and he was digging. He was like, and I pulled this out, and he was looking up to see what I was doing. I didn't know what it was at the time. I saw the meters. Of course, I knew the meters, but I had never seen this album. And the guy says, "Well, damn, you come to a store and you get a meters album. That's what's up." And I'm like, "Oh, is this something special?" You know. so I go home and I throw it on, and it easily became one of that. To me, this is them at their prime. Like Sissy Strut and all of those songs, to me, like they just get on those songs and they perform them and they get off the song. It is funky, don't get me wrong, but these guys are really, really playing their ass off on this. I mean, like really, really playing their ass. All of the lyrics, from the lyrics to the solos, to the intros, to just the funk riffs on the album, there's nothing like it. Out of all of the albums that I have, I've never heard an album from front to back get down like that one. So I should.
I'll have to check it out. That's probably in between. Like I have a couple of their early albums, and then I have I think it's Fire on the Bayou and Rejuvenation. I think Cabbage Alley might be in the middle somewhere.
I think Cabbage Alley came. I can't even. I think Cabbage Alley came after Fire on the Bayou. Let me see. This is 1972.
That's early as 1972? Must be like their third album then or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's still early.
Yeah, it's pretty early. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I think when did Fire on the Bayou come? Probably like 75, 76?
Yeah, it's like mid-70s.
Yeah. To me, that's the sweet spot though. And then I rant and rave about this album. I think this will be the last one that I pulled. I rant and rave about this album all the time. To me, this is a gospel album, but I say this is the best soul album you will ever hear in your entire life. And for the life of me, I could never understand why the King James version on the same label, ABC Peacock, you know, that King James version used to sell for like $600 at one point. Still goes for like $300 all day, while this one was selling for like $50 and $60. And this album puts pretty much any soul from front to back. I mean, they're doing covers that Ain't No Sunshine on it, you know, Isaac Hayes' popular song. I mean, but they do some originals on here. The vocals, the ladies that are singing on this are just absolute masters of vocals. And even the guy who's singing falsetto on one of these songs, it's soul stirring. It gets in your bones, man. It really does. I mean, I could put this on and just vibe out, fall asleep in my chair, to be honest with you. So I really like this one. You know, every opportunity I get to show, I would, you know.
One of the records I remember you showing, and I still haven't, you know, they go for a lot on eBay now, probably mostly because you showed it, but the Andrea Vereen one.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been a few copies. There's one that's, you know, this week I've seen a couple copies go on eBay, and just like, that is one of the ones that you show that I've always wanted to find. But
those are some bad chicks on that record, man. They look mean.
The expression you said, I'm trying to remember, I think you said like she's mean mugging it or something, because they just.
Oh yeah, she is. There's the one with the hood. There's one on the cover. She has a hood on. I'm like scared of that lady.
But I mean, for me, that is like my like soulful gospel, that type of stuff. I would have more of that in my collection if I could find it. But here in Montreal, it doesn't exist. Like I'm fortunate that there's a lot of jazz here in Montreal, because Montreal was a jazz city. So I'm really lucky with finding jazz. but there's just the soul, that stuff just not. It's so few and far between for that stuff. So
Yeah.
or to the internet, or when I go to the States, you know, sometimes in Detroit I'll find some stuff like that. But I'll check that.
Do you go to digging in? Do you go over to Detroit often?
Well, so my cousin lives in Ann Arbor, and I usually go every summer. Obviously not this summer, but I hadn't. So I used to go every summer, then I stopped for a while, then I started again recently. And for the first few years that I was back into collecting records, I think I just went to the Ann Arbor record stores. And then now I think it's been 2 or 3 years where one day why the hell am we not going to Detroit? And my cousin buys records too, but not as aggressively as me, more like hip hop. But so we just started going to Detroit, and we made it a thing where it's like we do a day of just like hitting all the Detroit stores, and like hit them on the way in and on the way out as well. But yeah, Detroit has a lot of good records. And
have you ever found any of those records off the Tribe label in the wild of Detroit?
So it's been 2 years that I've been digging in Detroit, and each year I've come back with one Tribe record and Strata too. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I dream of that.
I kind of regret it now, but actually last summer I saw one that I already have again, but in Toronto on the wall. I was not at Cosmos, because at Cosmos you'll see whatever, but at another store, and I was like, you never see these records. But Toronto and Detroit are pretty close, right? It's only a 3.5 hour drive, so it makes sense that you would maybe find them there. But yeah, you never see stuff here. Forget about it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But Detroit is it's the economy. You know the story of Detroit. So the records there, I would say, are a bit more affordable than when you go to other big cities.
My wife is originally from Detroit, so yeah, I'm familiar with how things are up there. It's crazy.
One thing that's fun to do before we tune out here is a couple random blind pulls.
Okay.
From behind you, always entertaining. People like to just.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess. Where can I go? Let's. I'll pull from my from my Black Gospel section first. How's that sound? We'll see. So like all of these are. Some of this is Black Gospel. So I'll just, the heavy stuff is right here. So we'll just, and if you hear this whining noise, that's my wife's dog. So ignore that, okay? She's in her cage. She's hungry.
Do you still have, is Hammond still around or no? We haven't.
No, man. I had to put Hammond to sleep last May.
I'm sorry to hear.
Because he developed some type of crazy disease called EPI, where he couldn't absorb the nutrients out of his food. So he was just like, man, he was getting mad skinny, but he was eating like a bear. But he could not maintain weight because, his pancreas wasn't absorbing the vitamins that he was supposed to absorb. And he was just kind of wasting away.
He was like a huge part of your videos always. It was amazing.
Yeah, man, that was my guy. Let me see, what did I put? Oh. Are you familiar with this?
No, never even seen the cover.
You're gonna like this. This is the Spencer Jackson family, and this is on Lord Records. That's the label. But I'm gonna tell you what's so special about this. This is the Black Gospel record. The Spencer Jackson family are these guys. Tell me if you've seen this picture before.
Don't think so.
This picture, the same exact picture is on the back of it's not a reissue, but it's a unreleased issue of music from Philip Corrin.
Oh yeah.
And the art, what is it? The Philip Corrin and the artistic ensemble?
The Heritage,
yeah. These guys, nobody knows when this album came out. This is, of course, a private press Black Gospel album. But Phil Corrin is on this album playing his francophone. So all of these guys, if you look at the musicians, Floyd Morris, Lewis Statterfield, who is playing the bass, Cash McCall, the blues guitarist, and you have Bob Crowder, Stanley Keeble. All of those guys are in the Artistic Heritage Ensemble. And this album, of course, predates that ensemble that he put together. So it's not the greatest music, to be honest with you. There is one song on there, what is it called? Something about Moses. I think it's called The Hand of God. It's crazy. This guy has the deepest voice, or the most distinct deepest voice I ever heard. And he's like calling down like he's Moses, and it's a crazy piece of music. And it's not the typical black gospel that you're used to. Of course, just being the musicians that are in it, but all of the musicians on there are from the artistic ensemble, or heritage artistic ensemble.
Is that like mid 60s then, or late 60s? I guess?
Nobody knows. There's no date on it. You can't. If anybody's watching this and knows, let me know. Nobody knows. Who knows?
I'm curious to hear what it sounds like. I don't know if there's clips online.
Oh, it's on YouTube. There are some that are on YouTube, or if you go into Discogs, there's some videos, because every once in a while I say, oh, let me pick this up to see if anybody has any more information on it. And yeah, nobody has ever updated anything with dates or anything, but there's definitely clips. It's called A New Day, and it's by the Spencer Jackson Group. Or Spencer Jackson family.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so I have it more so for like reference purposes, not necessarily for the music, but it's important because for the musicians. Yeah, so that's the first blind pull. I told you before, I'm kind of nervous, like if I pull a record. I have.
Hey, we all have a lot of records. We all should know them a little better than there's always some that we've neglected,
Yeah, I can go. This is like funk and soul. Let me go there. Let me go to funk and soul. I'll just I kind of cheated. I pulled a couple of them out. Here's another one. Oh yeah, this one is fun. This is another reference kind of album. Crispy and Co.
No idea. Funky flavor.
So again, let me see if you recognize the picture of the group. Can you see that?
It looks familiar, that picture, actually, more than the other one. I don't tell you what it's from, though.
This is one of the many names that the Lafayette Afro Rock Group recorded under. I don't know when this came out. I think this definitely is a later album, because it's more so disco-y than it is actually funky. You know what I mean? But there are some cuts on it that are pretty good. But
that special offer star kind of gives that away, I guess, on the front cover.
Yeah. But I got it. I got it because I actually love the Lafayette Afro Rock Group, and I don't have like the two main ones, Malik.
I got nothing.
But say that again.
I don't have them either. Never found them.
Yeah, but I do have a lot. Let me see. I kind of, like I said, one of their many names. So I have the Ice. Right, that's that one. This is a double album. This is kind of cool. And then the one that was on Prestige. This is on the that 70s Prestige label. This is probably like my second favorite one that I own. Then there's Ice again. All of this is Lafayette Afro Rock Group.
I didn't know that they recorded under different names. I've never even.
Oh yeah, they hoard out their name. They did. That's not it. It's probably like 5 or 6 different names, And then there's this import export. This is also on Prestige. That's a promo, I guess. Yeah. And then this is like my one of my favorite ones. This is all instrumental. And that's a pretty dope one.
I'll check it out.
This one right here is really, really funky. I say this and Malik are probably my favorite too. this one. So.
I don't remember you ever showing any of the Ice records, but maybe I just.
Yeah, I haven't. I hadn't. That's what I'm saying, man. I got a lot to do this second wave of making videos, you know. But yeah, I could get into Ice. Did you want me to do one more blind pull, or?
Yeah, let's do one more to finish off.
Okay. Where do you want me to go?
I guess let's do it. Do a jazz.
So all of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. This is Blue Note Prestige, stuff like that.
70s jazz, let's say, if that's a section.
I could go up to the kind of like random cheesy jazz. How's that sound? Like I said, I'd be purging these so we could see. This is kind of tight. Oh yeah, okay.
That's a good record though.
That's what I'm nervous. Yeah, this is pretty. Actually, this is an original. This is one of the first 3 crates. This is one of my parents' records.
Really?
Country Preacher, Cannonball Adderley.
Good record. Cheap Heat.
And you know what? This just comes to show you how things come full circle, because Cannonball Adderley and his brother Nat Adderley went to their alma mater, is my alma mater, Florida A&M University. So that's a perfect way to close out this this interview, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's right back where we started. This is one of my parents' records, and these are guys that went to the same college that I did, where it all began. And this is say that again.
Did you get rid of the copy from your parents' collection?
Well, no. I say I'm purging those, but I have to go through them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just keep it up there because that's where you'll find a lot of. I did a video where I kind of pulled that stuff out, and you'll find a lot of like just really basic type albums up there that they can't come like down here like.
They can't hang in that section.
The crazy jazz, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't belong down there. You know what I mean? So.
Everyone has their own way of organizing their madness, how they separate their collection in their brain,
Yeah, man, mine. I always wonder what people think about how I organize my collection, because it's not all one way. Like, of course, I'm doing it by label first. Like, for the most part, like this row is probably the most organized. I'm shaking my camera. It's probably the most organized because, I have the mainstream records, CTI, ECM, all together. All of the Prestige, Blue Note, all of the Impulses, Blue Note, and then Prestige. But, I kind of don't do it alphabetically. Probably because I kind of like digging in my own collection.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be there all day. But if I know that I want to listen to Ascension, then I'll just go to the Prestige section and start thumbing through until I find my Giant Coltrane. You know what I mean?
What and within, so like I have some labels separated, not as many. I've filed some back into my like alphabetical, but when you have it by label, do you have it chronologically or by artist?
That's when I break it down by artist.
By artist, okay, not by like catalog number.
No. I don't have time. No, yeah, definitely by artist.
And what gets me a little bit about the, like, when you separate by label, you start having like the same artist separated in different sections, right? Because people recorded on multiple labels, and that kind of makes my brain go like, ah.
It's a decision that I had to make. When I call that catalog collecting. Like when you have a lot of one artist, and so that's what I'm saying, man. It's just not one way that I'm organizing it. So for the artists that I have like catalog collection, like I kind of keep all of those in one space too.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what record label, like right here. So like you saw me pull out my Ted Curson, right? But also like right behind all the Ted Curson, I have. Wait a minute. I go into Gary Bartz.
Yeah. So it's by label, but if you have a lot of an artist, you're gonna put that artist all together.
Say that again.
you have it by label, but then sometimes you'll choose certain artists that you're gonna pull out. And
yeah, so like right here, Gary Bartz, Ted Curson, who else? Billy Harper.
definitely.
Like I have a lot of their albums. Like these are all my Gary Bartz albums. You know what I'm saying? So because I always seem to listen to him like 3 or 4 albums at a time in like one sitting.
I mean, not surprisingly, the artists you're naming, Gary Bartz, Ted Curson, Billy Harper, like those are my favorites. It's obviously sense, but like those are the ones that I would want to separate too, you know?
Yeah, you and I are all on the same page. I picked that a while ago. Yeah, definitely.
And Ted Curson is someone I like. Bartz I knew, and Billy Harper, but Curson I really wasn't up on him until you shared. You started talking about it, and I still haven't found that Pop Wine record, but I have found a few like that I heard Mingus.
You know, I was looking at some completed auction results, and earlier this year, a Pop Wine record went for like around $10, man.
You got yours for like 5, I think, or 6. You said something.
Yeah, I got mine for really cheap, but I'm just like, yeah. One, I don't know what made it fly below the radar on eBay. But I was looking at that like, man, because, you know, I look at things and I'm like, if I could, I'll buy a record that I already have and I'll give it away. If it's like $10, I'll do it. Matter of fact, there's a record on its way to you right now. I didn't even tell you that, but yeah, I mailed it out Tuesday with a whole lot of other VCLT. So when I are like, if I discover a record on my own or whatever, and now I go to pull the trigger to buy it, if it's like a seller on Discogs that has multiple copies, which that happens a lot, I guess maybe because some people just have record stores and they just have multiple copies, I'll harass them, man. I'll be like, yo, let me get all of those, you know. And I was like, what would be the discount for that?
How much for all of them?
How much for all of them? Exactly. And I'll do that, man, and I'll give them out. You know, I'll just like, if I can get them cheap enough and pay for shipping just one time, yeah, I know that I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, we all do it. Pick up some doubles to share the love. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much for doing this. We could go on forever, but everyone I know is happy that you're back, and look forward to seeing more videos from you in the future. Always entertaining and always a great source of knowledge. Yeah,
no doubt, man. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you letting me do this, or you asking me, because I was watching everybody else's interview, and I'm like, man, that would be dope to do an interview like that. I really like it. You definitely have a good concept going here.
Thank you. It's fun to do. I say it's selfish because it's like, you know, it's cool to hear some more insight and deeper stories, because we're always just here going through records, but to hear more about the person's experience and journey. Everyone's coming from a different place, so it's kind of cool to hear. So thank you for doing this, and keep the videos coming. Peace.
No doubt.